Aloha and welcome to the Embodied Healing Self podcast with your host, Jen Mons. Each week, join me for soul-inspired, conscious conversations around embodied healing and awakening to your soul's purpose. Thank you for listening in. Aloha, friends, and welcome back. I am recording live today on December 12th, 2019. The last full moon of the decade of the year 2019, and such a special and interesting time of the year. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling that right now. Sort of all of the feels, all of the emotions of another year coming to an end, family gatherings. Some health things can come up this time of the year. I live a little bit in that world still, so I know that that's happening, and a time of transition in many ways. And as I was in my personal full moon ceremony last night, I was just overcome with gratitude at the end of another decade and what that means for me and for all of us, and where I was 10 years ago. I was talking to one of my best friends who doesn't live here anymore yesterday, and just sharing with her, and she was sharing with me how it's been such an honor to witness me, how it feels like I've gone through 5 lifetimes in 10 years with all of the transformation and healing that I've done in myself and in my family and with others. And it's been such an honor. And I was just overwhelmed last night with just pure joy and gratitude. And, sometimes this time of the year can bring out a little grinchiness in me, and it's not really coming out as much this year. And it really just because of the shopping and the gifts, and gifts is my last love language. I really love to think of simplifying and decluttering. So receiving more physical gifts is like not at the top of my list. However, it feels really good to receive when I know that somebody else spent a lot of time thinking about what they were going to give me. And my youngest daughter is one of those people. She's definitely wrapped the most presents for everybody under the tree. Her world is very magical, and it's such a fun thing to be a part of. But I wanted to share what gifts and presents means to me in the 12 days of presents moving into this holiday season, and what that can look like. I hosted a webinar the other night, and in my Facebook group, I know that there are many of us that might be feeling a little more overwhelmed because of the extra holiday parties, the shopping that we need to do, the cooking that we can be doing, and just the things that can come up this time of the year. And as I sat in that space, I wondered what it would be like to share another way of receiving and giving to ourselves with presents. So here are the 12 days of presence and being present to life and whatever comes into our life this year, this month, this day, this decade. But being present to where we are in life, which is really, I think, the most wonderful gift, because time isn't something that we can get back. And quality time is obviously one of my top love languages. And so presence is very important. I have a grandmother who's 99. I never know when it's going to be her last Christmas. I recently just lost a friend who transitioned quickly, and it was very hard. And then my brother-in-law, who passed a few years ago, his birthday is in December. So it brings up a lot of stuff for me and for many of us. The holiday season, if you've ever experienced grief or loss, sometimes those things can come up during the holidays. So here are my 12 days of presents that I am committed to with my family, and I encourage you to take some of these or maybe come up with your own list for the next 12 days until Christmas, if you do celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday that you celebrate. The first one is to cuddle with your loved ones. Something that my husband and I committed to this year that I love so much is that we hug each other every morning. And his love language is physical touch. I think most husbands are loving the physical touch component. So it's just a simple hug every morning. But cuddling, maybe drinking tea by the fireplace or the Christmas tree, or just on the couch watching a Christmas movie, an old Christmas movie, can be super fun and so rewarding. And usually it's colder outside for everybody. Put on some fuzzy socks and get a fuzzy blanket and just hug your people, your favorite humans on the planet, and your pets, and just have a big snuggle. Number 2 is stillness for 1 minute a day. It's another way that I start my day. And this is something that my relationship with meditation and prayer and reflection and journaling, which I consider all to be in the space of meditation, is a relationship that I allow to ebb and flow. There have been times in my life where I've meditated 20 minutes consistently every day. There have been times in my life where I do guided meditations. And there are times where I do just a minute of stillness every day. And if you're willing to just start there, when you wake up in the morning, or if you notice yourself feeling a little anxious, or before you go to bed at night, maybe just taking a minute of just stillness and just connecting with your breath, listening to your breath, feeling your breath, really tapping in and checking into your inner landscape and kind of what's present with you. It's such an amazing gift. I start every coaching session with presencing. It lasts more than a minute, but it's just so wonderful to allow yourself to be in truth and clarity. That's really what presence and stillness does, is it allows you just to be in clear energy. Number 3, snuggle your pets. I'm a dog person. We've had many, many pets in our life. My husband and I were just talking about this the other day. We've had chickens and bunnies who had more bunnies, and snails and turtles and fish and hamsters and guinea pigs and everything except cats, because we're allergic to cats. But whatever your pets are, snuggle them. Just give them so much love and just take the time to be with them. Many of us may not know it, or maybe you do, but our pets are our healers. In fact, I've been working with quite a few animal intuitives lately. It's been really interesting. I think that my sweet puppy may be bringing them to me, but it's just a super exciting time where, we're in this space of reconnecting with our pets and just really understanding the value that they provide in our life, and that they're part of our soul family. They are truly part of our soul family. And I can't wait to have a guest on the show who I did an intuitive session with and saw that she was an animal intuitive, and she started to do that work, and she did a reading for my dog, and my old puppy was coming back through in that session. It was amazing. So stay tuned for that. But definitely give some time to snuggle your pets. Number 4, take some time to have a Christmas cookie making party or Christmas chocolate making party. Mine is scheduled for Sunday. I'm going to have 12 kids over here. My kitchen's going to be an absolute mess. All of our cookies are gluten-free. They have been for 10 years. They may or may not be vegan. It just depends. I haven't come up with all of the recipes yet. And they're colored with beet juice and matcha green tea powder and all kinds of stuff. That's the way we do it. We've always done it that way. You'd be surprised what some beet powder can do. It is just a beautiful deep red color. But, even if you want to have some extra fancy sprinkles, which this year my daughter said, can we get some of those silver sprinkles? And I'm thinking, well, those aren't really edible, but what the heck? I've got 12 kids coming over. My oldest is 13. She doesn't want to be embarrassed by all of the beet-colored sprinkles. So I'm going to let my guard down a little bit. We're just going to let some of her friends bring some of their stuff over, and we're going to make cookies, and we're going to hand them out to the neighbors. It's super fun. There are also years where I make chocolates. I love making chocolates. It's so easy. One of the things that I love to do is to put a little drop of an essential oil in there. I love doTERRA. Maybe put some wild orange in there, make some wild orange almond chocolates or some ginger cinnamon chocolates. It's super fun. And, you can also do some superfood balls, actually, that look like desserts as well. If you get some chocolate and some dates and some chia seeds and hemp seeds and protein powder and roll it, and then roll it in your coconut or your sprinkles, and it looks like a truffle, but it's packed with superfood ingredients. That's another super fun thing to do, which in my Facebook group, the Holistic Healthy Lifestyle group, I'll be sharing recipes for the next 12 days, soup recipes, superfood ball recipes. We're doing all of that every day, sharing new things for you to try. So come on over and check out all the gifts that I'm sharing for the next 12 days. Number 5, share your holiday stories. This is always really fun. I love it when my kids are like, so what did you get when you were a kid? Or tell me a story about when you were a kid. And it's so sacred and so fun. My husband and I had very different childhood stories to share. And, it's fun to just kind of reminisce and think back. And they can be holiday stories or not, but just storytelling is something that I feel like has gotten lost a little bit because we spend so much time in social media world and another reality that we've forgotten the art of storytelling. And in fact, where my husband's from in Hawaii, we were just talking about this the other day, stories are told through hula, which I think is just fascinating and incredible. Hula is a very sacred dance. Most of us are used to, going to a luau and witnessing a hula show, but in fact, it's a way of life. One of my bridesmaids in my wedding, one of my sweetest friends, is a master hula dancer, and you spend a lot of time living in the valleys, learning how to grow and make all of the leaves and the drum and all the things that you use. It's not just a dance. It's a way of life. It's how the Hawaiians carried their history, their story, and their traditions through. They didn't really write anything down. So the art of storytelling in whatever way that comes up is just such a gift, and kids love it. And if you're with family, maybe you ask, what we love to do is ask my 99-year-old grandmother, her name is Marge for Marguerite, what was your favorite Christmas? What was the best gift you ever got? She didn't have a cell phone till she was 86. It's just so, so fun for the kids to ask those questions. She didn't have a car till she was 35. She didn't fly on an airplane till she was like 40. So different than the world we live in. Number 6, take 3 things off your to-do list. I love this one. I've actually been practicing it in my business, simplifying my to-do list. I only try to do 1 to 3 things a day now, and in my mind, I'm probably doing more, but I don't have the expectation that I have to do more. And it's a work in progress for somebody like me who loves to check things off the list, who's a recovering overachiever. It takes practice to want to get all these things done, and it's a practice of just letting go of perfection and just being okay with whatever is. Like, my husband last weekend, my daughter had a science project due on Monday, and I had like 3 things I asked him to do, and he's like, the science project's enough. And I was like, nah, we could do it in an hour, and you can do these things for me. And sure enough, there's science project, because he took the time to be super intentional and present. And whatever time it needed, he just allowed for that. He enjoyed every moment, because it's possibly the last time we'll ever do it, because she'll be in middle school next year. It took 5 hours. So I'm just inviting you just to be present with where you are and just enjoy the moment rather than checking things off the list, and inviting you to maybe take 3 of those things off the list. Number 7, I love this one. We have the intention to have family meetings monthly. It doesn't always happen, But every December, one of the meetings that we have is we get together and we talk about which charities or organizations we would like to donate to. And I wrote on my Facebook group a list of our favorites, and we have many. And we let the girls decide. They each get to pick 2 or 3. They contribute some of their own personal money. We match them. And then we do our own contribution. But it's such an empowering way for them to feel good about giving. When we did a homeschool travel year in 2014, and we're in Nicaragua for 30 days, really living amongst the people whose houses were just palm fronds and dirt, my children became very, very aware at a young age of the reality of the harshness of the world and people who have a lot less than we do. And so this is something that they've enjoyed doing every year. And we do other things throughout the year, but at Christmas time specifically, rather than getting caught up in the receiving of gifts, it's a way that we are able to feel better about giving to those in need. Number 8, simplify by making space and decluttering. So one of the things that I can kind of witness and feel like a little stress coming on around Christmas is like, we don't need anything else in the house. It's like I don't need any more clothes. The kids don't need any more toys. There's nothing that we need. Although it's true, my 10-year-old still wants more stuffies, more dragons. And it's such a short, magical time in life. I just really practice allowing her room to be a complete dragon world, which it is. There are continents in her room. There's a language. There's a school. There are homes. There are oceans. And I just let it happen because I know it's not going to be forever, even though surprisingly she's been into dragons for 4 years. But what we can do, what I do with my kids and myself, and I actually do this every month, but I feel a little bit more intention behind it in December, is decluttering and just getting big boxes of stuff together to donate and just simplifying, creating space, just creating more space. Because if gifts are coming in, then you want to create space for those rather than adding to extra clutter in the house, because clutter energetically can feel suffocating. It can feel overwhelming. When you have more stuff, you have more laundry to do, you have more things to pick up, the house is just messier. So that's just the truth. And so practicing decluttering and creating space can feel really good. Number 9, have a winter solstice ceremony, which number 9 days from now is the winter solstice. We have a plan to be in Blue Springs, to actually be camping out at the springs and doing our own special ceremony, which I am preparing for our family. And I know that locally there are many wonderful ceremonies happening. There's a walking of the labyrinth that is also a lovely ceremony that we've done throughout the years. There are some ceremonies happening on the beach. So check out any of your local healers or people that might be doing these, and maybe consider joining one or doing your own sacred ceremony. There will be parties as well, but it's really a time for reflection. It's the shortest day of the year. It's a time for inner introspection and reflection. Number 10, journal on how you want to feel and how you want your kids to feel through the holiday season. This will be on the 22nd. So if you do these in order, it's just, sometimes the family gatherings can bring up anxiety for people. So I would just encourage you to just take some time to journal about how you want that family gathering to look like, to feel like, and how you want your kids to feel for Christmas, enjoying Christmas morning, and really thinking about, like for me, for example, I'm hosting Christmas this year, and I really want to feel nurturing and welcoming, and my grandmother will be coming to my house, and I really want to enjoy the moments with her and my dad and my mom, because as our parents age, becomes more important to have those moments of presence with them. It's always important, but I think we become more aware of it. And so just take some time to consider, like, how do you want to feel? How do you want your kids to feel, your family, your loved ones to feel? Number 11, gift wrapping with creativity and intention. My younger daughter is like the Christmas elf in the family, and she gets so creative with her gift wrapping. She cuts out snowflakes from different wrapping papers and waves and all kinds of things and glues them on top of the other wrapping paper. So she creates her own designs. Like every card that's on the present is a piece of art, and it says something special, like some sort of aspect of our personality, like the surfer in me or the dancer in me or the yoga mom in me. And it probably has something to do with the present, usually. And so we kind of do that. We just really take the time to be intentional about gift wrapping, and it's actually kind of a form of meditation. Number 12, for the 12th day of presence, write a letter to yourself. And this can be done anytime between Christmas and the end of the year, but this is something that I've been doing for the past couple of years, and I just love it so much. And I take my letter from the year before and I read it on the last day of the year. And at some point in the last week of the year, I write a letter to myself about how far I've come, the things that I've accomplished, the challenges, the losses, whatever it is that I experienced. I write a letter to myself. And I also do this with my children on their birthdays. And I don't give the letters to them, but my intention is to give all of the letters to them on their 18th birthday. Now, I started this a little late. I don't think I heard of it until maybe like 7 years ago. My youngest is actually a New Year's Eve baby, so I'm writing 2 letters on that day. But it is so fun to just go back and even read the letters that I wrote for them, like the things that they were into, the things that they accomplished, like what was that year all about for them? It's a really, really fun thing to do. So maybe this is the year that you start a new tradition of doing that. Maybe you write one to your spouse. Finding a way to just take the time to actually handwrite a letter. It's super special. So thank you for joining. I hope that I gave you some tips and ideas for the 12 days of presence to take us through the holiday season. I hope that your holiday season is full of joy and peace and love and connection and nourishment, and that you have the space in your life to really make time for the things that matter most. I also want to share with you that in the new year, I will be hosting a webinar on January 7th around envisioning intentional well-being for the year 2020 and what that can look like. And also an invitation to check out the 2020 Empowered Living and Embodied Healing Collective. For 12 women, there are 8 spots left. We are going to spend 12 months together learning and growing and healing and transforming spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically. We come together every month. We're going to have a retreat in Costa Rica together. We're going to have a live event here where I live in Northeast Florida together. It's going to be a super magical year. So if you're really interested in making this the year that you commit to yourself and you come together in sisterhood, because there's something so powerful about women coming together and supporting one another, not just energetically, which is super powerful, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It feels so good to connect, to learn, to grow, to thrive, to be seen and witnessed without judgment, without expectation, in a space where you do the deep inner healing work. And I'm talking, we go deep, really deep. And allow yourself to just break through the patterns and the boundaries and the blocks that you've been stuck in, or if you're stuck in that pattern of overwhelm or perfectionism or just a fear of moving forward. This is going to be a sacred group of sisters that are supporting one another to break through. I've been doing this private with one-on-one clients for years, and decided that it's time to do a group circle because I've been a part of so many powerful group circles. and really wanted to offer the space for sisters to come together and do the healing work together. So thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful week. I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a great day. Hello, friends, and thank you so much for joining me today and being a part of this community. I know there are many other podcasts that you could be tuning into, and I am deeply honored that you chose to listen in and be present with me today. I love and cherish and appreciate you, and I want to invite you to join our tribe and Facebook group under jenmons.com/connect. I would also love to gift you your guide to discovering and overcoming the self-limiting beliefs standing in the way of you living in optimal health, more energy, fulfillment, and self-confidence to create an embodied, healthy, whole you. You can find this at jenmons.com/tribe. I also have one small request to help spread the love. In order for this podcast to show up in the feed of social media platforms of other like-minded people, we need reviews. So please head on over to jenmons.com/podcast to leave a review. You will also find other inspiring episodes on that page. So I personally read these reviews weekly and would love to give you a shout out and share your kind words with our listeners. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Jen Mons or The Holistic Coach with the W Holistic and Jen Mons, JENMONS.com. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Aloha.